What's going on, you guys? In this episode of Stranded Alien Dawn, I'm going to tackle my perimeter. As you can see, they've begun to construct the traps, and these traps go quickly. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're going to go pretty fast in this episode. No, let's just let the video roll. So these traps are going to get knocked out relatively quick, and then all the purple, everything purple that you see, everything that is also light blue, should also be taken care of. So that's going to be my first priority. Taking out the trap, well, constructing the traps, constructing the flooring, working on this flooring, working on electronics and CPUs to build up the rest of my freezers, as well as maybe, if I have enough time and enough construction material, to work on more turrets. So this is going to be another base defense oriented video. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys enjoy the base layout, please, smash that like button for me. And feel free to copy it. It's not too difficult. You build it in 2 halves with a little walkway. Now you leave this section alone. And you build your 2 little sections that you see here. Add some stairs, or you can also do doorways if that's what you prefer. With stairs, it allows you to go up to the next floor. It also allows you to just walk on over without having to open and close the door. But you build your 2 sections, and then you cover it with a ceiling. And that'll give you this little walkway that you see here, to where you can have an interior garden if you desire, like a little something. It's not going to be very well. I guess if you decided to stretch this structure out more, you'd have plenty of space for all of your pets. I plan on breeding the 4 different variety of dogs, which they'll have their own little places here. I also plan on, it's probably not going to be this video, maybe a couple videos from now, but I do have plans on taking care of animals. I do have my food, all stored up here. I've begun to stockpile various types of food. And eventually, I'm going to begin taming all the creatures and having their own enclosures. Like I might have this section right here be for the Noth here, since they're a little bit smaller. I might section off all of that to the Draco, which is, if I can find one. Here it is. They're larger, as you see. So I'll give them more space. What do these give me? They give me hide and they give me that. Where's the 3rd species at? I know they're a little bit larger than these guys. I'm just not seeing them right now. Oh well, there's a 3rd species as well, somewhere around here that I can tame. And they'll be the 3rd thing that I have. And then I'll feed them to my dogs and be good to go. Everybody's gonna be happy. Now, why can't I think of the other creature's name? So strange. Oh no, here it is. This is going to be the thing that's over in that little corner. And then the Noth is going to be... Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, those things, they're going to be over here. Those little striped creatures. But more or less, this part's going to be split in half. This is going to be all the creature living. And then I'll have a variety of food that they like to eat in the field. I'm not sure if they'll be able to eat it off the vine when it's ready. But that's my plan. Give them a couple things to eat just in case my survivors don't go and feed them manually. They'll have something that they can munch on over here. And since I've never done anything with the creatures, that'll be a good experiment for me as well. I want to see if A, it works, so then I no longer have to actually do anything. I could just, plant all the variety of food and then have it be automated. Just completely automated. Come on, Greg. What are you doing, dude? There we go. Yeah, and if they, like I said, if they eat from here, it'll be automated. I won't have to have any survivors do anything except for, go and pet them and butcher the overflow. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find my male and my female, my breeder, and I'm going to have to probably set them aside somewhere in like their own little section of the enclosure. I'll just have like one little enclosure with the 3 different male and female, and that should cut it. Insufficient materials are now just down to 2,700. I think I have enough wood selected, and Simon's just going to continue to go and do his mining, which fantastic. The more mining he does, the more cement I begin to stockpile. Already up to 40. So let me see what it's going to do for me. I want to upgrade this first room. I'll upgrade them room by room. And so we should go to the stone. Where's that? Stone floor. Reconstruct to concrete. Oh. Okay, so 925 concrete. How much did it reconstruct? Well, I guess those are decent sized rooms. A 10 by 9? Yeah, 10 by 9, so 90 slots per. So that adds up. Now let's see if I get 900 stone back. Probably not. Thank God I do have a couple spots out there that I have selected still. Let me see, do I want to send Rita out again? Let me take a look at my food supplies. What do I have that's cooked? Okay, I've got 5 of that. And 4 of that. Okay, cool. Alright, Rita. Time to go out again. God, look at all the things I'm going to have Ken working on. Oh, no, cancel. Rita. Yeah, I don't need Ken doing any random expeditions. Those are all you, Rita. Nope, I need Ken to be working on construction. That's going to be his priority. Him and Samantha both. Wow, they've already constructed almost half the traps. I'm not even 10 minutes in yet, and they've already got half the traps done. That is phenomenal. But yeah, I'm going to need to add in little quick paths. A wild plant? Hold on. Where is said wild plant? It's a wild plant. New security signal. One of many plant species on the planet. Yeah, but what is it? It's not telling me. I think it was a non-edible though. Is it potentially smoke leaf? I thought I'd already discovered that, or maybe even the buzz shrooms. I don't know what we just unlocked. Some sort of non-edible. It's not the fern, I already had that. And I cut the purple leaf, so I already had that. I already had the 2. I already had these. Yeah, I think I already had all these. It's just sausage palm, coconut, dandelions, glitter plant, mushroom, or not mushrooms, grain crop, the buttermelon, and the mulch tube. No, you're not gonna scrap. Alright, so grain, that, those, this, the other. The only thing that's not out there is this, which it just gives me more syrup, which this already does. Non-edible. It had to have been a non-edible. Which, that's cool. So if that's the food, let me start with this stuff. So skin bark, I'm probably not going to need a whole lot of. So I'll make a small little amount like that. Cloth blossom, I will need a ton of. Smoke leaf, again, I won't need a whole lot of. So I'll do something like that. And what's something else I probably won't need a whole lot of? Mushrooms, there we go. Ew. Okay, I'm just going to have to extend the field. That's fine. Okay, so those are those three. I will need a full field of cloth. And I will need a full field of synth plant as well. More synth plant than anything, than cotton. Extend this one. After that, so that takes care of the first couple. So cure plant, I'm going to need a ton of silicon. Absolute ton of silicon. And I'm going to need something like about that. Wait, what? Ew. It went above somehow. Okay, reduce field. That'll work. Which means I need to reduce this one. And this one. Because for anybody that's watched me play this game, or anybody that's seen me play this game, you guys know how much of a stickler I am about perfection. Honestly, that is perfection. That gives me my one, and then the fence. Huh. Okay. I'll still need some cure plant, so I'll just put a little tiny bit of that in here. And extend that field a little bit, like so. No, yeah, let me give it another row. You know, just because I'm being generous, or I'm feeling generous. And then the last thing I need, energy crystals. I really need these. And then again, just extend the field to right there. Boom. Next thing, go back over to defenses, go to fortification, go to the wooden one, and extend that field. All the way down. Fully enclosed. Very nice. Okay, let me now draft my people and put them up on the wall. Make sure nobody's out very far away. Alright. Cool. Except for Katiana's asleep. Where did she go? Oh, she's going to bed. Perfect. I won't have to worry about her this whole fight then. Here they come. Oh, they're coming from the left this time. Alright, time to observe. Why are they going this way? Yeah, they shouldn't want to go that way. There we go. So let me show you how effective this thing is, since most of them are going this way, right? There's a few of them going this way, most of the smaller bugs. A large amount of them went this way. So I guess, yeah, they are starting to wise up, turn around, and go the other way, while some of them are, a little more stubborn. Oh, I guess I'll show you this side. So they've made the turn, which means there's one more turn left, but all of them are dead. Now we go back over to the other side of the less intelligent bugs that want to go through all of the traps and cause me more problems. Slowly bleeding to death. Now I'm just going to go ahead and undraft my people. Oh, some of them are turning around. And some of them are pushing forward. Uh-oh. That was a very unwise thing to do, Samantha. She wanted to go over this way to shoot the target. Alright, but they're nearly done, you guys. The final 6 are beginning to finally bleed out. Well, except for this guy. This biggin. He is an absolute unit. The brood mother. Bleeding, but it's not life-threatening. For now. I mean, given enough time, and all of your health pool will disappear. We just get to sit back and watch. No, it's either going to continue and die, or it's going to get tired and run away. That's the whole purpose of this base. They will never get in. They will either bleed to death, or they will turn around and walk away, because the bugs are programmed to only attack for so long. Once they've hit that limit, they get out of town. Which I think I'm already starting to approach that limit. Probably like another minute or so, and then this little guy's gonna bug out once he gets unstuck and unsuppressed. Honestly, I don't even think he's trapped. I think it's just stunned. I would have my people hunt it, but they need their sleep. They have a decent amount of traps to reactivate, as well as some to build. Not to mention this whole side. Thank God I got attacked from this location. All of these were ready to go. But it's down to half HP. Or just about a half HP. Slowly whittling itself down. It's never going to get to me. That's about as far as it makes it. It might make a couple more steps, but it's done. And I think now, yep, it just lost interest, but it's going to hang around. Alright, you want to attack my stuff, buddy? Okay. I got you. I don't know what you're attacking, but, knock it off. Alright. Problem averted. Get Katina to handle some traps. Very nice. Good job, Katina. You must not have anything to do. Oh no, I have her set to handling. That's right. Good job. Handle those traps. Just handle them like a pro. Are you gonna go handle those traps too? You get it, girl. Mm-hmm. You like a woman that knows how to handle a good trap. However, you're not the smartest one in the bunch. I think you're going the long way to go get food. Oh wait, never mind. I'm the idiot. I don't have any quick pathing into the base over here. Which I guess she did make the fastest route. Honestly, I would have went out this way and then went this way and then that way, but that's just me. I guess it's just as much of a walk. Darn solar eclipse. I hate those things. They hurt so much on the power. Alright, so one flank's traps are done. These just need to be reset. They're getting work on the other half. Oh yeah, all the traps are getting done. 100% this video. Well, at least I think so. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. But I do have a quick route over here. So we'll be able to get in and get to where they need to go. Is there any wood on the floor that I can utilize? No? Okay. However, my wood problem, I'm not going to get that one done this video. It's probably going to be another... Yeah, it's going to be another video. However, let me get rid of this requirement here for now. I don't need this one enclosed as badly as I need the other one enclosed. There. Yeah, I need this one enclosed, I need this one enclosed a lot more than I need this one enclosed. Which brings my resources down to 23. What's something else I might be able to access? It was just this over here that they need to build. That's really 2,300 worth of wood over there? Good lord. Well, I guess there's also this long section. Yeah. Okay. So, just the last few to go. Bunch of traps over here to build, and then a bunch of walls. And the base will be done. Well, the first round of the base will be done. The next thing I have to work on is getting rid of all of this. And getting my my trees and my hay and my sticks. I need to get that farm going somewhere. Probably over here, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. It'll be a pretty small farm. A lengthy one, but it's still pretty small. Let's see what it would look like. First off, go ahead and take up the area it would take up. Let me start from over here, make sure I'm not going to have to cut this tree down. I do want that big old tree to stay. Alright, cool, so it only cuts down this, but not that. Thank God. Next. I need to go over to farm. I need to go over to trees. Let me grab the tropical variety first. So that is huge. And then I'll extend that one just by 2. There. The next one, the palm trees, which are slightly smaller. That's fine. I can add like bushes or something to even that out. Okay, extend this field a little bit. And then the last thing I need, sticks and branches. So I could do the purple leaf. Ooh. Fern bushes. Yep, fern bushes. What does a fern bush grow? Sticks. Okay, cool. So that'll be my sticks. The fern bush, since it's small. Which just frees me up for hay. Do I want the giant blade grass? Probably. And there we go. Now, since I don't have a whole lot of sticks, what I can do is I can add... Oh, hold on. Nope. I guess reduce the field. Oh, I overextended it by 1. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, so what I can do is I can extend the field by 1 to take up more space so that there's more sticks growing. And utilize all this space. There. Now that that's done, go over here and pause the construction. There we go. All right. So I've got my food, my non-edible food, my wood, sticks, and hay farm. Well, at least the beginning of one. I can always expand it into here if I want. I don't think I'm going to use this whole section. Yeah, I could use... Yeah, there's no way I'm going to use all of this for power. Yeah, I might put some trees and stuff back here as well. Then once I do my expansions, I'll figure out what resources I really need. And I might move like a little bit of food over here, just in case. I might also expand this wall out a little bit to give me more room for food stuff. And I might also boost the amount of hay and, well, obviously I'm going to want to boost the amount of hay and sticks that I have. And so let's go ahead and harvest until a healthy 2,000 hay. I'm already at 3,000, so that'll give me a little bit of time before they actually need to come and grab this stuff up. The sticks, however, I need this now. So I'll boost this up to 2,000 as well. Give them something to harvest for a little while. For this, I'm going to need wood, probably at least until 3,000 wood. Yep. Let's go ahead and do that one. Yep, 3,000 wood. And then the same for this one. So you get to go ahead and hold the button down again. And 3,000. Man, I was off both times by just 10. That's ridiculous. They didn't want to give it to me. It's like when you're at the gas station, you're trying to get the exact dollar amount, and they're like, no, 1 cent over, 1 cent under, and you're like, oh. Yeah, I just had that moment. The same thing with this. Thank God the sticks are only 1. It allows me to have that little spacing along the fan. What's going on here? You know? I don't care if it takes away 2. That's my own problem. Three. Ew. Let me just remove field. Let me just start over. Let me get my larger fields over here and then get the nonsense fields at the end. Okay, so starting over here. Farming. Non-edibles, so the important crops. Cloth blossom. And I'm going to give myself a 1 perimeter wall. Darn game. I might as well give myself a, you know what? I'm going to reduce that slightly. Just by like 2. Because it is still going to be a rather lengthy farm. There. See, it still has some length to it. Same thing with this one. However, it needs to be just a little bit wider. Just slightly. Because all of my armor, well, at least the tier 1 armors, and some of the housing stuff requires more of this than it would the cloth. Next, something that I need a lot more of, is this is a very important resource in this game. So I'll give myself an entire field. Okay, next, let me do the non-crucial stuff. Starting with skin bark over here. And the reason I'm doing this right over here, instead of connecting it to the initial spot over where I have it over there, is I want to see how much room I'm actually going to utilize. I might be able to extend the farm a little bit. I can extend this one, maybe even the cloth, who knows. And so that was the skin bark. Just some smoke leaf now. After that, do some of these. Extend that up. Hopefully everything's going to cooperate with me. Did I do cure plant? Smoke leaf, skin bark, mushroom, cure plant. This one needs to be a little bit wider than, I guess not really, a little bit wider. That's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Smoke leaf's the only one I'm missing, right? Nope. That would be energy crystals. The ones I do need a lot of. Silicon leaf. Ew, I put the 2 worst ones next to each other. Is this a 1 by? Let me see. Was it? No, it's a 2 by. Smoke leaf is a 1 by, right? Yeah, smoke leaf is a 1 by. Okay, so remove the smoke leaf altogether. Extend this one. Ah, come on. Alright, so mushroom. Lord. I think by that amount. And then remove the cure plant. And bring that up. Extend the field. Sorry, I'm a stickler for having things look really nice. Now remove field, energy crystals, a full field. Yeah, I'm a bit OCD. And then finally, the smoke leaf that I removed. Extend that field. And there. Much better. Important stuff. Important stuff, not so important stuff. I could have moved this over here and then just thrown this over here and then, yeah. Oh well, it's already done. I haven't even been paying attention to what's going on with my survivors. Probably got attacked and didn't even realize it. Thank God everybody's fine though. Yeah, all of that's taken care of. My food stuff's good. What am I missing? Oh, I'm not missing anything. I didn't see that right there. Okay. So the animals are going to attack me from... Ew. Why do they always want to attack me from over there? No, you're not. Grab everyone. And put them on the wall. I'm just waiting on an electron. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have CPUs learned. Craft. CPU. Until 10 as well. And a severe heat wave. Ugh. Brother. What's that, brother? Disgusting heat wave and bugs. A decent amount of them, too. Now hurry up, split up, go your two separate ways. And I'll meet you in the front yard whenever you get there. Except for these two. They want to attack my power for some reason. So the next thing I'm going to do is move my power inside so that they can't do that anymore. But there goes most of them stuck in the traps. They're not as smart as their brethren over here. Their brethren ain't smart either. Honestly, if they were smart, they'd go this way. And I'd be, SOL. Get your butts up on the roof. Who said you could go away? I don't remember saying you could go away. Huh. These ones are extra dumb. Oh no, never mind. That's this side. I forgot I had some over here. So yeah, see, that's more or less what my design of this base right here is going to be. You put them here, and then they're going to split, depending on who each bug is locked on. The bugs that come this way, obviously they're going to be locked on the people on these, and vice versa over here. And they'll just go back and forth, and these ones will go back and forth. And if they decide to go the other way, well, I have a very long path for them to take. And eventually, there's going to be turrets just raining down devastation. At least down most of these. They destroyed a tower. Now, had this been open, which is the purpose of the double wall, had this been open, they could just casually walk in now. So always have that double layer of defensive wall, and especially on your inner walls. Those must be double, if not triple thick. I went with double because I didn't think anything of it. Vincent, why are you hurt? Oh. One got in somehow. Where'd it get in? Oh, it must have gone through this way or something. I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because they didn't get in from over here. Yeah, got in through this way. And then attacked them. There's no defenses broken over here. There's nothing broke right there. And they didn't get into here, so yeah, that had to have been it. A bug got into the inner wall. Okay, which means it's time to move all of these. I'm getting these moved onto the interior of the base. And what that'll allow me to do is add in a double layer defense on this back section and give me some relief onto the inner wall. This base is a bit resource intensive, but as you see, it works. Very resource intensive. But the main reason I'm doing heavy resource intensive base is because this is a survival series. I have nothing but resources to spend. I'm going to make this place as big as I can, as intricate as possible, have as much as possible. That's the whole point of a survival series. You know, I want to stockpile so much that my people don't even have to go out for an entire year if they don't want to. I'll have a stockpile of meat, like they won't have to leave the walls is what I'm talking about. They probably won't ever leave the walls once everything's upgraded to the highest tier. Yeah, it's just going to be sitting back and, you know, cooking food and just really doing nothing. Reclining in their chairs, smoking their smoke leaf pipe and enjoying their tea. I might even create a little campfire section for them to have little campfire songs. Alright, but the other two are done, so let's get them moved now. There. That's all my power. On the interior wall, finally. So now that that's complete, go to defenses, fortifications, wall. And I guess begin to drag it across. Go from this section, bring it to there, then come back over here, bring it to here, and we wait. And then the last thing that I need, I'm not going to place. I want it to be the very last thing. I don't need them getting into my my wall again. Nah, what am I kidding? I have to put the fence door. Post. Obstructed access. What are you talking about? There's some shenanigans. Oh, there's not as much space. I see. Hold on. I see the problem. Okay, so wooden fortifications. I have to extend this one, which means I have to cancel all that I've done over there and break down this one at a time. Deconstruct. Yeah, I have no problem doing it. Kill some time. I mean, it is the night time. My favorite time in this game. Absolutely boring, if you ask me. Nearly done. Thank God it's not, you know, atrociously annoying to break these down. And it's just a couple button combinations. And there we go. Everything along that section ready to be demolished. Why didn't that get removed? Oh no, it is going to be removed. They just got lazy. Okay. And then I need them to work on those fortifications. The fence door. Now it's time to place that. Like so. And I forgot it's only in here that it's actually, you know, a one wall little gap. How much more wood? 26. I think I'm gonna be able to get it. Ooh, and I have a flat cannon down. Why is it turned off? Turn that on. I thought that was broken. No, the other requirements are for these flat cannons. Okay. His tailoring must be off the charts. How are my clothes looking? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so he's only got this shirt left. And then he's gonna work on something different. I hope he gets working on the tailor, or onto this. That'd be nice. He's probably gonna work on this, though. Oh no, not swamp fever. Whatever we can do. I wonder how this little couple's doing. Where are you, Rita? How are you enjoying... Oh, she's losing interest in Edmund. But he's gaining interest in Rita. Or losing it? Alright, so it doesn't look like there's any disturbed sleep. So I wonder why they're not getting along now. Who's Ken enjoying? Ken's enjoying Simon. Vicente's enjoying Katina. Simon likes Ken, so they might hook up. Simon and Ken, that's an interesting pairing. Well, if people want to get married, who am I to stop them? If you guys couldn't tell, I spent a little bit of time setting up weddings and banquets as a teenager. And I spent 2 years working at a golf course that, they did two different things. They had this 40, I think it was a 40 by 40 foot tent. It felt like it was bigger. It felt like it was 100 by 100. But it was this massive tent, this big old square tent that could fit 600 people underneath it. Yeah, this thing was huge. And we had to construct it using these big old metal pipes and clips that we would clip into little joints. These joints would, clip into another pole along the vertical axis, and then there would be a horizontal-ish axis, a diagonal, to build up the tent. So you had the square frame, and then the upper portion to create the diamond. And then we'd put a heavy tarp on top of that diamond. We'd cinch the tarp down to the top of it, and then we would grab even more poles, and then we would hoist the corners up and drive they weren't 6 foot, they were more like 4 foot. We would drive 4 foot stakes into the ground, metal stakes, like these huge stakes, and we'd take a sledgehammer, just beat the heck out of these things, and bury them into the ground. So there's barely anything showing, because this tent was heavy. So if any wind started blowing and it was a windy area, this thing would get, picked up. So we had to anchor this thing deep, and it was heavy. So I got a workout before I joined the Army. So the Army wasn't as bad as or the airborne wasn't as bad as it would have been. Nor was the infantry training. I was jacked as a teenager. And so there was putting that together, which also consisted of setting up the archway and all of the seats. They had to be perfect. You had to have them all spaced out evenly. So there was that, which this is significantly smaller than what I've done. And then you would have like the wedding banquet hall that you would set up. And I'd set up not just weddings, but I would set up for like Mother's Day brunches. I would set up for golf events because it was a golf course. So they had a bunch of golf tournaments and stuff that we'd have to set up an entire ballroom for. And then you had like family reunions or anybody that just wanted to rent the ballroom. And then they had another little section attached to the ballroom for like a little lunch and dinner section. Mainly dinner. It was a higher class golfing facility in Walnut Creek. Used to be called Blake's at Boundary Oaks. It's a nice little golf course. You know, nothing too fancy. It is in a nice city, and in the nice part of the city. I used to go to a school there for a year when I went to 7th grade. It's a nice little school. I didn't make any friends though. You know, I'm a loner. I think I've only had 2 friends in my life, and yeah, after 25 years of, you know, putting on a certain kind of face, their true side finally came out. You know, one of them, it's not so bad. He's a pretty good dude, but his priorities are a little weird. I'm missing Ken out on this expedition. So the first one, like, he'll hit you up when it's convenient, like when it benefits him somehow. And if you need him to do something for you, he'll do it on his time frame. So like, I asked him one time to help me out with something on the game, and it took him 4 months to finally like be like, all right, yeah, let's go do this. You know, I'd see him online every day, you know, playing something. But I would hit him up like, hey man, I need your help with this. Oh yeah, I'll help you in a minute. And he never did it for 4 months. His priorities are a little askew. You know, he could have taken 10 seconds. It would probably taken him like 2 minutes, honestly. Just 2 minutes out of his time. That had me wait for 4 months. Which, you know, again, I'm waiting on his time frame, so it's a little bit of me, but still 4 months is ridiculous. You're supposed to be one of my best friends. You know, if you were to ask me for something, you know, I wouldn't drop everything I was doing, but I would make it a priority to assist you as quickly as I could. You know, in my soonest opening, boom. But you're over here playing a different video game. You could easily have jumped down real fast. It's not like you were busy, you're playing a video game. And then the other friend, well, I don't know what his problem is. You know, we went on a camping trip, and the entire camping trip, his wife was saying my wife's name wrong. And then I spent an entire evening, you know, saying my wife's name, you know, calling her by her name loudly so that they can hear me. And then my friend doubles down and calls her by her incorrect name. And mind you, both friends have been over to my house several times, so they know her name. They know her name. Or at least I thought they did. I guess they weren't really paying attention. But yeah, one of them, the first guy I was telling you about, he knows my wife's name. You know, he's not, I'm not sure if I would call him a best friend. I would say maybe he's, you know, still an acquaintance. But the other guy I've completely cut out of my life. It's not the first time he's done something like this. The first time, and honestly what should have been the last time, is, you know, I just got out of the service. I didn't have a vehicle, and I needed a ride just right down the street. It was literally a 5-minute walk, you know, 3 blocks, and then back. I was going to sell some of my games and maybe make a little bit of money, you know, not even $5 worth of gas. And this is back in 2008 when gas prices weren't nothing. I could put $20 in my tank and drive from where I lived to Reno and still have a little bit of fuel. You know, it was nothing. I could drive a couple hundred miles and be fine. But, yeah, the first time he drove me, he agreed, you know, $5, sure. You know, that was, you know, he was going to do it for free, but, you know, I convinced him $5. So we get there, and apparently, I guess, while I was in selling my games, his girlfriend who was in the car was like trying to upcharge, and she wanted $20, which, you know, ridiculous. And this is back when they were doing some nose candy. So, you know, they were already, you know, not the best of people, not in their best state of mind. So yeah, me and him got in a fist fight in his car in the middle of an intersection because he doesn't know how to put it in the park. And they start swinging on me when I said, no, I'll give you $5. You know, I was already in the car. strapped in. We pulled out. We were already headed to my house. We were about to flip the U-turn to start heading to my house. And that's when he's like, no, I want $20. And I was like, no, fuck that. We already agreed on 5. I've got 5 right here in my head. No, I want 20. And I was like, no, fuck that. That's some bullshit. And then his girlfriend's chimes in. I was like, hey, no, this is an agreement between me and him. You don't get to talk to us. Or you don't get to, chime in. You don't get to add your 2 cents. Because, I'd already put 2 and 2 together that she was the one that was trying to get the extra money. So I was like, no, fuck that bullshit. $5. And, he fucking, flinched at me. And me being me, you flinch at me, I don't fucking flinch back. I start swinging. And he fucking flinched at me. He was going to punch me. So I said, fuck you, ain't going to punch me. Fucking started swinging. We got into a fist fight. And I walked home. Didn't talk to him for years. He got his act together, so I gave him a second chance. And apparently, that shit just left him out of my life. Doesn't even have the common courtesy of, knowing my wife's name. I knew you for 25 years. You knew my wife for 7. And that's how you're gonna do us? No, I don't got time for that nonsense. So yeah, a little snippet into my life. I only had 2 friends, and one of them's out. One was just an acquaintance, because I don't really feel like I'm his friend. I felt like I was a third wheel with them, because they were best friends. And then I knew one of them before I knew the other one, so I was already good friends with one of them. And then I met the other guy. So I guess I kind of knew them separately. And then, come to find out they know each other. See, I always felt like a third wheel. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's why I'm a lone wolf. If you don't have the time for me, I don't have the time for you. And honestly, I haven't found anybody that aside from my wife and my daughter, that I want to spend time with, or on, or around. And for the most part, I don't really get along with the rest of you guys. Be it the autism, be it my antisocial mentality, which I know as somebody who's antisocial has a YouTube channel. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, this is my way of escaping my comfort zone. If you guys couldn't tell by the way that I talk, my pauses in between the way I talk, I'm extremely uncomfortable in doing all of this and telling you about my life. It's not typical of somebody who's antisocial. I'm not one of your look at me YouTubers. I like to leave as little as I can, but I couldn't think of anything to talk about. So for the sake of having commentary, which is more entertaining than not, I decided to hit you with a little bit of my life. It's been a chaotic one, I'm not gonna lie. All different kinds of things that I've experienced in my lifetime. I've seen the best and the worst in people, experienced it. Uh-oh. I just realized that these people can't be here anymore. So draft, everybody, get y'all inside. I said everybody inside. I know some of you guys are sleeping, but all the tracks are done. Sweet. Oh, and I'm almost out. I'm out of time, you guys. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. You guys take care. You stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. I've got 5 seconds. Thank God I checked.